Good morning, my dear students. Today I want to take up another essay on getting off to sleep, written by J.B. Priestley. It has been prescribed for the UG semester 6 students in paper 13. The essay on getting off to sleep is a personal article by the legendary writer J.B. Priestley, whose essays have become an object of admiration as well as source of inspiration for many of young writers even today. He speaks of his problems of falling asleep when in bed. As you know, the title itself suggests that the title reads like on getting off to sleep. That means it gives us an impression of sleep to the reader. Sleep is an entity that brings out the contrariness in the author's personality. He is able to induce sleep when he is supposed to write essays. As soon as he picks up the pen to put his thoughts on paper, his sight starts dimming and sound fades away as sleep takes over his conscience. But quite strangely, he is unable to fall asleep when he touches the bed and is supposed to sleep. Sleep brings along with it dreams. It is dreams that brings out the creativity in man, especially the author. In one's sleep, one can turn into an artist better than Michelangelo or create symphonies as good as Beethoven. Dreams symbolize freedom from the restraint that bog man down in day-to-day life. Ordinarily, people do not find taking to bed that difficult as does the author. Sleep is the time when the 5 ports of knowledge are to be shut down so that they can get rejuvenated for the hectic tasks to be performed the very next day. The author feels that sleep is a shy mistress who needs to be wooed with some style and effort, or else she will be considered not a worthy reward. Those characters which were iron-willed slept as soon as they fell on their beds. Sleep comes easily to them, for they have not much to worry about. They are satisfied having finished their task for the day. Their snoring is the sign of a relaxed mind in a tired body. But this is not so praiseworthy for the author, who feels that only the men devoid of sympathy are capable of undoing the cares and concerns in a reckless fashion. Such men are not easy to live with, as they have nothing to share after a day. how to work. In a way, sleeping habits can be a giveaway of the daily habits and personality of any person, be it a warrior or a docile author as Priestley himself. Sleep does not require too much of concentration. In fact, concentrating to sleep may backfire, as it would make even the dullest signs of sleepiness vanish. There are available innumerable methods that are known for inducing sleep artificially, but all have a common trait inherent in their working, which is their ineffectiveness in desperate cases like that of the author himself. Traditional methods, as the author says, such as counting, jumping, sheep have proven to be worthless in man with extraordinary creativity. They imagine their sleep to turn into white whales or blue pigs, which sparks off a new adventure in their mind, thus scraping sleep away. Even imagining oneself doing trivial things over and over again so as to trick the mind into sleep through monotony is not a success in such extreme cases. The author begins with adjusting things such as paintings on the wall, which leads to the subject of pictures and art galleries in general, and then the mind moves on to the last gallery visited and the people present there, and so on. But there is light at the end of this journey. The author speaks of his personal remedy to this abnormality by imagining himself in conversation with a spontaneous, bored Mr. H. He either ends up laughing or bored enough to fall asleep in such engrossing talks. However, large the problem of insomnia, there is at least one Mr. H in everyone's life whose talks could be as boring and voluminous as his personality. It is easy to imagine oneself chatting up a conversational board than straightening pictures or counting, jumping, sleep. Thus, sleep can be conquered.